The sound of my sister's SUV faded down the rainy street, taking her and her husband David to the airport for their 10-day Alaskan cruise. A much-needed reset, she'd called it, her smile not quite reaching the tired lines around her eyes. I stood in the doorway of their beautiful, too-quiet colonial, the scent of lemon cleaner and fresh-baked cookies in the air. My 8-year-old niece, Lily, stood beside me, her small hand limp in mine. Lily hadn't spoken a word since birth. Selective mutism, the doctor said, likely tied to some unknown trauma. My sister, Clara, had devoted her life to therapies, to sign language, to patient silence. Lily communicated with a tablet, with gentle nods, with expressive dark eyes that saw everything. I loved her fiercely, this silent, watchful child. "Okay, kiddo," I said, squeezing her hand. "Pajamos, then a movie? Your pick." She didn't nod. She was staring at the closed front door as if it were a tomb seal. Then she turned and walked, not toward the stairs to her bedroom, but into the spotless kitchen. She pointed to the stove, where a vintage ceramic teapot, the one Clara cherished, sat on a cooling trivet. A note was propped beside it in my sister's perfect cursive. "Maya, made you your favorite lavender chamomile. It helps me unwind. Hope it helps you too. Love you. Don't let Lily stay up past 9. Clara." It was thoughtful. So thoughtful. Clara was always the thoughtful one. The perfect mother, the perfect wife, the perfect sister who remembered my favorite tea. Lily tugged on my sleeve. She made a drinking motion, then shook her head violently, her small face pale. "You don't want me to have the tea?" I asked, signing along. She shook her head harder, her eyes pleading. Then she pointed to the teapot, made a gagging motion, and mimed falling down. A cold trickle, like the first drop of rain down a spine, touched the base of my neck. "Lily, sweetie, what's wrong?" She grabbed my hand with surprising strength and pulled me away from the kitchen, into the living room. She pushed me onto the sofa, then stood before me, wringing her hands. She took a deep, shuddering breath, her chest hitching. She opened her mouth. A soft, strained sound emerged, like a rusty hinge. Then clearer, a whisper. "Auntie Maya?" My heart stopped. The voice was high, sweet, but unnervingly precise, untouched by the usual cadence of a child learning to speak. It was as if she'd been saving it, polishing it in the silence for this exact moment. "Lily, you can talk?" She nodded, a single sharp jerk of her chin. Tears welled in her huge eyes, but her voice, when it came again, was steady and chillingly adult. "Don't drink the tea Mom made." She swallowed. She plotted. The two sentences hung in the fragrant air, shattering the world I knew. Plotted. A word from a crime drama, not from an 8-year-old's mouth. "Plotted what, Lily? What do you mean?" My own voice was a whisper, matching hers. "With David, the man." She said the man with a flat distaste that was terrifying. "They made a plan. In the garage. I hear through the vent." She pointed a tiny finger toward the ceiling. "My room is above." "What plan, baby?" "The tea makes you sleep, very deep sleep. Then the accident, a gas leak while you sleep. They fix it after, from the cruise. Alibi." The words, delivered in that perfect, quiet voice, assembled into a monstrous picture. The much-needed reset was a cover. The thoughtful tea was a sedative. My death, while babysitting their mute, traumatized child, would be a tragic accident. A faulty stove, a forgotten pilot light, a grieving couple, comforted by a massive life insurance policy I knew Clara had taken out on me years ago. Just in case something happens, you're Lily's guardian, we need to provide for her. I felt the blood drain from my face, pooling in my feet. The room swayed. Clara, my own sister, the one who'd braided my hair, who'd held me when our parents died. "Why, Lily? Why would they—" Lily's composure finally cracked. A sob racked her small frame. Because of the money. Grandpa's trust. It goes to you if they are gone. But if you are gone, it goes to them, all of it. I heard them. Mom said, she said you were a loose end. She said I wouldn't tell. She looked at me, her face a mask of ancient sorrow. I'm not supposed to tell, but you're my Auntie Maya. You see me. The final piece. Our grandfather's substantial trust structured to bypass our parents' generation. It came to Clara and me. If we both died childless, it reverted to our other relatives. But Clara had a child. If I died, Lily was my heir, and as Lily's parents, Clara and David would control every penny until she was 25. I was the only obstacle between them and tens of millions of dollars. The nausea was instantaneous. I stumbled to the half bath off the living room and vomited. The cheerful, duck-themed wallpaper mocked me. I splashed water on my face, my hands trembling violently. In the mirror, I looked like a ghost. I had to think. They were on their way to the airport. They'd be unreachable soon, in the air, then on a ship. They had an alibi. And I had maybe hours before the accident was supposed to occur. I walked back into the living room. Lily was curled in a ball on the sofa, silently crying. The brave, talking child was gone, retreated back into her shell, her one devastating message delivered. I knelt before her. "Lily," I said, my voice hoarse but firm, "I need you to be the bravest girl in the world for a little longer. Can you do that? Can you not talk to anyone else about this, not even on your tablet?" She nodded, wiping her nose with her sleeve. "Okay, we're going to play a game, a secret game. We're going to pack a bag for you, and we're going to go on a little trip, right now." Her eyes widened, but she nodded again. I moved with a speed born of pure terror. I didn't touch the teapot. I put on gloves from under the kitchen sink, carefully poured the tea into a stainless steel travel thermos, sealing it. Evidence. I took photos of the note. I went upstairs to Lily's room, to the vent she mentioned. With a butter knife, I gently pried it open. Inside, clean as a whistle. Of course. But I believed her. I packed a duffel bag for Lily. Clothes, her stuffed rabbit, her tablet. I packed my own overnight bag from my car. Then I called the only person I could trust, my best friend, Anya, a forensic toxicologist. "Anya, I need you to meet me, now. I have a sample I need tested. I think it's laced with a potent sedative, maybe Rohypnol or something similar. And I need a lawyer, the best, most ruthless family lawyer you know." To her credit, Anya asked only 2 questions. "Are you safe?" and "Where should I meet you?" An hour later, Lily and I were in a secured lab office downtown. Anya, her face grim, took the thermos. "I can run a preliminary gas chromatography screen now. It'll take a few hours for a full panel." She looked at Lily, who was clinging to my side. "Is she okay?" I whispered. "She's the one who warned me." Anya's eyes hardened. "I'll call you the second I know." The lawyer, a woman named Miriam Vance, with a reputation for predatory families, met us at a discreet, secure hotel suite I'd booked under Anya's name. I told her everything, with Lily sitting on the bed watching cartoons with headphones on, though I knew she was listening. Miriam listened without a flicker of surprise. The trust structure gives them a powerful motive. The cruise is the perfect alibi. The mute child is the perfect witness who can't testify. It's chillingly smart. She leaned forward, but they made one fatal mistake. What? They underestimated your bond with Lily, and they left their weapon behind. She nodded toward the thermos, now in Anya's lab. "We need that test. Then we go on the offensive. We file for immediate emergency custody of Lily, citing evidence of a plot to endanger your guardian, you, which constitutes a grave threat to her welfare. We get a restraining order, we freeze the trust assets, and we wait for them to return from their cruise into a hell of their own making." The plan was a lifeline, but as I sat in that sterile hotel room listening to Lily's cartoon laughter, the reality crashed over me. My sister had tried to kill me. She had looked into my eyes, hugged me goodbye, and left me a poisoned gift. The tea wasn't just a sedative, it was a betrayal so profound it had literally given a mute child her voice. Lily had spoken to save my life, and now I had to use that voice to destroy her mother. My blood wasn't cold anymore. It was boiling with a grief so fierce it had turned to fire.